to the powder coating place with the Mercedes ML320's wheels. Unique powder coating in Robertsdale, Alabama. I'm gonna try them out. Never tried them before. Guy sounded like he knew what he was doing, so I'm gonna do it. We gotta pick a color. There's no color online for the green on the Jurassic Park Mercedes, so we got to figure it out. So we're gonna have to look at some color swatches and see what green we can come up with. I'm fine with close. I actually would kind of like and prefer that it be just a little bit darker than what it is in the movie. So I don't know though. We'll see what color we come up with, and hopefully we'll pick them up next week or two. That'd be cool. Uh-oh, just got a call. The Mercedes wheels are done, so let's go pick them up. Let's go see what they look like. This should be really cool. This is the Mercedes-Benz E32 engine. You can look that up on Wikipedia and see what this engine is all about. But in this particular case, in the M-Class Mercedes, this was the initial workhorse of that SUV. So, engine that was in the vehicles, that was in the movie, The Lost World, Jurassic Park, more than likely had these engines in it. More than likely had the E32. This is a 3.2 liter V6. Produces roughly 250 horsepower. That'll be plenty of horsepower for what we need. I mean, we're not gonna win no races in this thing. We're not gonna do anything crazy with it. We just want it to look cool going down the road. It doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be, the quieter the better in this particular case, you know? So, we need to go through it though. We need to get it apart, get everything apart on it that could possibly go wrong or has gone wrong, and get it straightened out. boys and girls? We're sitting here with my clean E32 engine. Let's get this thing broke down a little bit and see what all we need to replace on this thing, because obviously there's going to be a few things we need to order. There's some knowns and some unknowns right now, so let's go ahead and get this thing kind of broke down the best we can. I don't have an engine stand right now, but we're going to try to work around that problem at the moment. Maybe I get an engine stand. Maybe I can get an engine stand sometime this week. I think I might be able to swing by like Northern Tool or something and pick one up. Harbor Freight is out of them right now. I have no idea why, and they won't send me the display, so it is what it is. But I don't have an engine stand right now, so right now we're just going to use this engine picker to hold the engine while I take some of it apart, at least get the spark plugs out, the coil packs off, maybe some of the wiring that I can get out, and some other things. I can still take it and put it on a dolly. I build these dollies like right there, and they're extra heavy duty, so they'll hold this engine. I just don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I guess it will. It'll work. So I got to go around back and get the other dolly. Right now the back seats are sitting on that dolly, and I will put this engine on it and start taking some of this stuff apart, especially like the front end and like the alternator. Got to get that off there, the compressor, make sure no water got in it and clean it out if there is, and some other things like the engine mounts, valve covers, coil pack, spark plugs, intake manifold, all the wiring, etc, etc, etc. Once we get it all broke down, then we can go in here and probably clean this valley up a good bit, make sure the intake and exhaust ports look really good, make sure all the valves look good, make sure the top of the pistons look good. I really need one of those cameras that I can see in the top of into the spark plug holes, so I can check out the cylinder walls and all that good stuff. But we will burn that bridge when we get there. So let's go ahead and go get that little dolly, set it on that, and start breaking this thing down a little bit. I've gotten the intake elbow off, and this is why I want to do this. The reason why is because like this hose right here, it is so brittle. I mean, I can literally split it just by squeezing it. And that hose connects right there. So you can see it, it's where it connects. It broke clean off. It wouldn't come off of this valve, whatever this system is, right? I guess that's part of the PCV system. It would not come off of there. So that's one of the reasons why I want to make sure I get all of these components off, because being a 22-year-old vehicle is really not a problem. The problem is this thing has been sitting a while, and I mean, I'm not scared of a 22-year-old vehicle. What I'm scared of is all the dry rotted things like vacuum lines and whatnot, and acorns that's everywhere basically. But this right here is the EGR system for the M class, and I see a problem already right now. Look at this hose right here. Tell me if you think the EGR system is working properly. That right there, I mean, I could probably just, wow. See, that's why I want to go through a 22-year-old vehicle's engine, and that's why I've got the engine out, is because I want to go through things like this right here, for instance, is a perfect example of why I want to go through it. So I want to get this EGR off of this thing and keep on going from there. But you know, there's a little rust right here. I want to get that loose, and this piece looks like it's a piece of stainless, so you know, it's in good shape. But you know, these E-Torx bolts are on everything. There's E-Torx everywhere on this vehicle. Then everything else is just regular Torx, but there's E-Torx everywhere else. That's pretty wild. So yeah. And then the rear main seal is right here. It runs around this crankshaft right here. This is the crankshaft output right here, where the flywheel goes. and basically you gotta pull this cover right here. Actually it appears to be like a plastic material. I don't know what it is, but it actually has instruction. I just downloaded the instructions from All Data. So I'm gonna get this off, put a new rear main seal in it, get everything sealed back up, put this back together. Shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, we need to definitely get this intake manifold off because it is broken on the front side. That other side of that vacuum system is broken. So I don't think this intake was working properly at all. But I did pick one up from the junkyard, so we should be good to go there. This is the fuel rail right here. The fuel inlet is right there. That's where the fuel goes in. But anyways, we're gonna keep on trucking on this and check back with you in a few minutes. Oh, we're making some progress. Look at this, look at this, look at this. We got fuel injectors out, fuel rails out, most of the wiring except for I think the knock sensors are on that wiring. That's not out yet. About to get the intake off. Got the AC compressor off of there. Got the belt off. Having some issues trying to get the clutch off for the clutch fan. I really don't have a wrench big enough to fit this nut right here, and I failed to leave the belt on before I loosen these bolts up. So I'm hoping all this kind of comes off once I get a few more bolts out around the water pump, then it all just comes off. Then I can compare online because there's like 2 or 3 different versions of this water pump, so I gotta determine which one to get. Now, one of the issues with this vehicle specifically, if you can see right here, there's a little hole here and a hole here. There's supposed to be a bolt right there, one of these E-socket bolts. But now if you look at this side over here, has one of these vacuum devices. I think I'm not sure exactly what it controls, but it controls something to do with this intake, I think. There's a bolt right there, and you can see where it goes down into the intake right here. This is broken on this side. You can see that it's actually broken off in there. So there's actually no good way to fix that. And you can see that even after all that washing I did, look at all the rat boo-coodle jungle that is still in there. That is really crazy. So you can see down in that valley, it is one nasty mother. So I'm working on getting this intake off right here. Once I get this intake manifold off, everything else should be pretty straightforward. Then we'll get the valve covers off and see what they look like underneath. See how well this motor was taken care of over its course of 200,000 miles. We'll see. The oil actually looked really good. I drained the oil out. It's over there in the drain pan. It's dark, but there was no metallic shavings or anything of that nature. So everything looked fine there. The coolant looked really good, wasn't discolored. Actually, like maybe it was changed recently. I don't know. I don't really have any history on this vehicle other than the guy was pretty cool that sold it to me. But let's keep going. I'm sure all these vacuum lines right here are probably trash. This looks like one of those boost control relays, like it's on the Volvo, like a Pierberg little vacuum controller for the boost. It's Pierberg. I'm pretty sure that looks like the same exact part, same connector and all that's on the Volvo that controls the boost on the Volvo S40 T5 or the T5 engines. So let's get this done and see what it looks like under here. Well, I spent a little bit of time cleaning up this side of the valley. You can see kind of where I've cleaned. This is kind of what it looked like before, right here. So see how nasty that side is. And look how clean this side is looking. It's looking really good. I just pulled the EGR valve off, and man, look how caked up this thing is. That's pretty pretty yummy right there. So I think it was time for a good cleaning. What do you think? So I'm just kind of going through this with a little brake clean and a little nylon bristle brush, and just got to give it a little scrub, and then I take my shop vac, my wet dry vac, and spray it. And at the same time I'm spraying it, and I'm vacuuming this material up. So it's working out really nice. All this looks really, really good right here, and it's gonna almost be too clean at this point. I guess now we can start pulling the valve covers off and see what it looks like underneath there. So let's go ahead and pull some of those. That is a E10, and that's what the socket looks like. So that's an E10. We'll just start getting some of these bolts out here. I wonder if there's some underneath here. I don't know what that little bitty thing is right there. Boy, does this look beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Holy smackaroonies. So just seal off right here. Hey guys, let's talk about paint for just a minute here. Let me show you what colors we're going to paint this Mercedes, okay? And let's start with the black. So here's the black. That's what we're going to be using. Brand code 9700, black shop line, base coat. This is a PPG product. The second color, let's start at the bottom here. That's going to be brand code 46121, government fed spec color flat green. The third color is woodbine green, brand code 45951. That is not a government fed spec color. That is just out of the wood. That is just out of the green catalog of PPG colors. And then the fourth color is Fed Spec code 25975, gray beige. There's your colors. So that is federal spec flat green, woodbine green, gray beige, federal spec color, and just a simple black.